So one of the most frequent questions I get around the topic of Amazon PPC is, should I start my PPC campaigns even if I've got zero reviews? And in today's video, I'm going to cover that exact topic. I'm going to give you some theory, some evidence, and some assumptions. Hopefully it's going to help you, so stick around. If you do like content like this, if you want to learn more about Amazon PPC, then make sure you are subscribed, because it's a topic I love and talk about a lot on this channel. So let's try and break this question down for a few moments. Should I launch my product with PPC on Amazon even if I don't have any reviews? A lot of people kind of get obsessed about the idea of reviews. As Amazon sellers, we become obsessed with reviews. We think that reviews are everything. And now, don't get me wrong, reviews are an essential part of selling on Amazon, but we get so obsessed and we think that if I don't have any reviews, then no one is going to buy my product. And in a minute, I'm going to show you some real life recent examples that show you that that is exactly the opposite of what is true. And the reason for that is this thing that we call the honeymoon period. Now, this is not something that's necessarily scientific. There's not a whole bunch of data to back this up, but within the Amazon community, this idea of the honeymoon period is something that we refer to describe this initial period that when a product's listing first goes live on Amazon, kind of has a honeymoon period. You know, they talk about that in marriage, that it's like where everything is bliss and everything is favorable, and it's seen to be like that on Amazon with new products, that when they launch, Amazon looks on them favorably. It's trying to understand where this product fits in its catalog. And so when this product does make sales in the early days of a new listing, then it gets extra ranking juice. And when we launch a product, the goal is not necessarily sales, the goal is visibility. Right? That's why we want to drive those initial sales, manufacture them with launches, PPC, etc., so that we can get that visibility that's going to lead to the long-term organic, profitable revenue that we want to create. And so the best time to do that is when you first launch your product, because Amazon is going to see those sales favorably. It's going to give you extra ranking juice for that. And what I see people often do is ignore this honeymoon period, and they think, I'm going to wait and I'm going to launch my product once I've got reviews in. But when they get those reviews in, that kind of honeymoon period is gone, and it's not as effective as it could have been. So like I say, some recent examples for you just show you that this theory, the honeymoon period theory, is not just theory, but it actually is working in practice. As you can see, this is from 30th of September inside of our Brand Builder University community. One of our members there talked about how they launched 4 days ago and sold 88 items in that time. Pretty good launch. And so what they actually talk about over here, when they get asked a question about this, how they launched, they talk about how they started with PPC only, and they had no reviews to begin with. I think it was at least a week before they got any reviews, had sold over 100 items by then. I'll actually clarify that for you next week, as I'm going to be bringing this person onto the channel, going to be interviewing them, asking them questions about it. Hopefully it's going to be very, very helpful for you. So if that would be helpful, make sure you are subscribed with those notifications on, so you find out exactly when that drops. Hopefully that'll be next week. And so we're going to ask all about this, all about the launch process. Really encouraging story that I know will help a lot of people. So yeah, but as I mentioned, launched with only PPC with no reviews. Another recent example, this was just the other day, one of my members coming to me and saying, Ben, I launched 3 products this week. Listings, this is what I need you to see. Listings still don't have reviews. And 2 products are selling 2 to 5 units a day. One has exploded, selling 10 to 12 units. And again, 0 reviews, ranked at the middle to the top of page 1 for the main keywords within 48 hours. This is the impact of the so-called honeymoon period, and it's why you shouldn't wait to launch your PPC campaign. So the short answer is yes, but I do have 3 key assumptions that I'm going on when I give you this advice. Of course, number 1 is you have a good product. You see, PPC doesn't fix a bad product, it amplifies an existing product. So if you've sourced a good product, you've done your homework, you haven't just copied and pasted something from Alibaba to Amazon, but you've actually found something that solves problems for people in the form of products, then launching PPC on day 1 is definitely my advice. The second thing I'm assuming is that you've done good research. You spend some time, energy, effort into researching what kind of keywords you want to rank for, which are the most relevant to your product, which do you have the greatest opportunity to rank for quickly based on a number of factors like competition, how much your product is differentiated, all of those kind of things. And then the third assumption I'm making is that you created a good listing. You see, if your listing on Amazon is trash, there's no point investing money in PPC up front. Because if you're paying every time someone clicks on your ad, they arrive on your listing and it converts terribly, well, you're going to waste a whole load of money and you're going to come back to this video and say, Ben, PPC doesn't work. I shouldn't have launched from day one because I didn't have reviews. Reviews aren't the issue. Reviews aren't the reason, as I showed you with some recent examples, reviews aren't the reason that you don't make early sales. Often it's because of one of these three reasons. You either don't have a good product and you're trying to sell fidget spinners or some other cheap plastic crap that you've done nothing with from China, or maybe it's because you haven't targeted the right keywords, they're not relevant enough to your products, or they're way too high competition for you when starting out with 0 reviews, or finally that your listing is just not as good as it needs to be in order to convert well. Your images aren't as good as they need to be, your copy doesn't flow in the way that it needs to be, you haven't got A+ content listed there. There could be a whole bunch of different reasons, but those are the assumptions I'm making when I'm telling you launch PPC on day one to take advantage of that honeymoon period. Final thing before I let you go, consider your approach. We talked before about the different keywords you might target and based on competition levels. This is an example from the keyword yoga mat, one of my favorite examples that I get ridiculed in our community for always using, but why change the habit of a lifetime? I searched for this just to kind of give a bit of an example. Lo and behold, it kind of did show me what I wanted to see. You got this product here and it's got nearly 5,000 reviews. Incidentally, last time I checked, I think this yoga mat does about 50k a month in revenue, which is pretty juicy. But then you've got these products here. This one has only got 5 reviews. This one has got no reviews at all. And so these are obviously products that are pretty new and are launching using PPC from day one. This one here specifically, this one has chosen to launch with PPC even though they've got no reviews. They haven't got any reviews, but have decided that I'm going to go after this keyword yoga mat. Now, what these products are probably doing is they're probably running automatic campaigns and Amazon is deciding where to show them. However, what you should do is consider your approach and actually target specific keywords when launching your product that you know that when you rank for them, A, that you can rank for them, and B, that when you do rank for them, that you can actually stick. There's no point investing an upfront marketing budget on launching with PPC if the keywords that you're targeting you won't stick for. You see, it's relatively unlikely that either of these products is going to maintain a page 1 ranking for the keyword yoga mat because it's so insanely competitive. So instead of going after things like yoga mat, consider some more long tail keywords that maybe have 5 or 6 or 7 words in them. You might search for like best yoga mat for women or yoga mat with thick layer of foam, or I'm like making these up as I go, right? But longer tail keywords that the search volume is less competitive, and when you rank for that term, hopefully it's a lot more specific to your product and the changes you've made to that product to make it better than the competition. So people are more likely to buy for that reason, but also it's less competitive. It gives you the ability to be able to stick for those keywords. And what you do is you target those lower competition keywords first and then rinse and repeat this process to target higher and higher keywords as you go and build up momentum with your product launch. So I know a few high-level concepts there, but I did just want to give you a bit of warning that you can't just chuck on PPC and hope to make loads of sales like the examples I gave you. You have to do your background work first. You have to lay the foundations for this. It's not just a case of clicking a button and being successful on Amazon. You got to treat this like a real business, do the work, do the research, put the yards in, and then you can see results like those examples I gave to you because Amazon in 2020, there is so much opportunity. If you do want more training on PPC, there's some links below to some free training. We've got a whole tutorial on how to run PPC campaigns from beginning to end. It's about an hour long. There's also a few other helpful resources in there, a free Facebook community that you can join and ask questions, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So check it out below. If you've liked the video, please do give it a like so that it lets me know that you like this kind of content, want me to make more of this kind of stuff, and definitely do subscribe for some more interviews coming up about some case studies, what's working right now in the here and now. Get involved and let's build some great brands through 2020 and 2021. I'll see you in the next video real soon.